Greetings. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an exemplary guest this evening. One of the primary emphases on exchange clubs nationwide is strengthening families by preventing child abuse, America, and exchange partnerships. And since April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, we thought we would invite the Exchange Club officers and members to come and be our guests today. To my extreme right, we have District President Bill Froese, and to his right, Lou Monitor, VFR past National President, and to his right is Pamela Brooks. Pamela is the District 12 Director, North Chicago, Waukegan, and Zion, and North Chicago past President. And to my left, Tanya Hudson, Exchange Club of North Chicago President. And our anchor person is Angel Jackson, Exchange Club of Zion President. Greetings, folks.
Greetings.
We're very happy that you've taken time to your busy schedule to share with us information about the Exchange Club, national and also locally, because I will be learning right along with my listening audience all there is to know about the Exchange Club. So I think we'll start with District President-elect Bill Froese. Okay, Bill Froese, all right. Tell our listening audience a little bit about your personal and professional background. Who is Bill Froese?
He's a heck of a guy. I work for a company that's involved in helping kids with autism. Mm-hmm. We provide several products to them, primarily in the area of speech development. Mm-hmm. And my involvement with Exchange goes back almost 20 years now. And the story is we happened to be at the local high school, and they were having a spaghetti dinner. And they do it because the parents attend the high school, and you walk through your child's class schedule, mm-hmm. spending 10 or 15 minutes with each instructor. And at that time, there was an organization hosting a spaghetti dinner. So during a break, my wife and I went in to have spaghetti, and we happened to see our daughter's dentist. We're asking, what are you doing here? And he said, well, I'm with the Exchange Club. And I was like, what's the Exchange Club? Mm-hmm. And he said, well, we're a local community group. We're hosting the spaghetti dinner to have people like you have a chance to have a break and enjoy a nice dinner. So I asked him a little bit about Exchange, and it was interesting. What attracted me was the prevention of child abuse. And he invited me to a meeting. So I went to the meeting. It's a very nice group, nice people. Okay. Didn't really follow up at that point. So a couple of weeks later, we're sitting in church. And he kind of leans into me right before the start of the service, and he goes, you know, there's a meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
So here I am, okay. And that was in, 1997? Mm-hmm. So I've been a member ever since. And I'll let my colleagues here tell you why they joined, but it's not only an opportunity for fundraising and community give back, but there's a lot of fundraising that we do as well.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun here this evening, but before we do, we're going to let Lou Monitor tell us, and you're the VFR. You're going to tell us what VFR is.
Well, actually, VFR stands for Volunteer Field Representative,
okay.
And that's one of the functions as a volunteer that I assist the districts, and I have the good fortune, since I live in Kenosha, mm-hmm. to be a VFR both in the Wisconsin Upper Peninsula of Michigan district and Lincoln Land, which is the state of Illinois, basically. And, you know, I like to start off all my talks about Exchange Club by telling everybody that today is a great day to be an Exchangeite. Oh, yeah. And it's an especially great day to be an Exchangeite here in Division 12 in the Lincoln Land district, where you have the clubs of North Chicago and Zion and Waukegan represented. Mm-hmm. Wonderful Exchange-ites. You know, I had the pleasure of being a member of Exchange in 1988. That's when I first started. And I was a member of the Zion Exchange Club way back then. I worked at an agency in Zion, Illinois, although I lived all my life in Kenosha. And then after a couple years, my boss wanted somebody else to be part of the Zion Exchange Club, so I moved over to the Waukegan Exchange Club and had the good fortune and privilege of being a member of that club in '91, and I've been a member of that club ever since, plus the Kenosha Club, which I founded 5 years ago. So I've had a long history in Exchange, and it's a wonderful, wonderful club.
That long history is very fruitful because you are a past national president. Tell us.
Absolutely. Well, you know, Exchange is 105 years old. We were founded in 1911 in Detroit, Michigan, by a group of business people headed by a person by the name of Charles Berkey. And he was actually a jeweler. And the business people got together initially for the purpose of exchanging business ideas and talking and networking. And then after a few years, they decided, well, you know, since we're meeting on a regular basis, maybe we should start doing some community service and help the community a little bit. So they got together and they formed some community service plans, and then the Exchange Club expanded to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then the Toledo, Ohio, where the national headquarters is located. And right now there's over 650 clubs and 22,000 members across the whole country. We have the distinct privilege of being America's Service Club. We're just in the United States and Puerto Rico as a territory. We're not international, but we focus all of our energy and service energy into serving our communities here in the United States.
And it's required for you to do a lot of traveling then, right?
Well, as the national president, I certainly had the good fortune of visiting Exchange-ites from coast to coast, and I've had so many wonderful experiences. The neat thing about Exchange is that all clubs are similar and all clubs are different. You know, they all do the same things as far as providing service to the community, but we all have our little niches, and I'm sure you'll hear about them with North Chicago and the Flight for Honor Flight program, and Waukegan has a long history and a lot of programs. And Zion's a relatively new club, but they're just beginning to get their history going in Zion as far as all the good things they do for that community. So, hey, the best days of Exchange in Division 12 are coming. Just wait and see.
Well, speaking of service clubs, we have the Kiwanis, we have the Lions, and we have the Rotary. Of course, Rotary is the oldest service organization, and it's concentrated on the youth exchange program, you know, as part of it. But each one has their own niches. The Lions deal with the blind and glasses, you know, collection. And I mentioned about the Rotary. Then there's Kiwanis. What's special about Exchange Club that would cause people to want to belong, become a member?
I'm glad you saved the best for last. That's the best. But our national program is child abuse prevention.
Okay.
And most of us around this table have been CAP warriors for many, many years. And we will not rest until that scourge of child abuse is removed from our society. And that's what we work tirelessly in our communities, trying to enact educational programs, let people know that child abuse cannot be tolerated, and work towards preventing it throughout our communities. Now, besides that, that's a great national program. But we also have 4 pillars of service that we strive to do in order to make our communities better. Of course, child abuse prevention is one of them. Then we also have Americanism, where we honor people that fly the flag properly. We have an activity called the Freedom Shrine, where we put replicas of the 30 famous documents in American history in the high schools. I think they're in most communities here in Division 12. We have Service to Youth, where we honor the Youth of the Year, who is the academically top student, and also an award called Accepting the Challenge of Excellence, which you may hear from one of the other clubs. But that's for the student that's been challenged, whether it be, you know, because of society or because of some disability or whatever, and started struggling in school, but has turned his or her life around and now are graduating and becoming contributing citizens. And that's what it's all about. We love to honor our ACE Award winners. And then the last pillar is community service, where we We clean the streets, and we take senior citizens to the ball game. We just do all sorts of other things.
April 12th, today, 2016, but the month of April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Is there something special that should be happening in April? And I think maybe President-elect Bill Froese, you want to address that?
Even though April is designated as Child Abuse Prevention Month,
Okay.
a lot of clubs will focus one or more activities. It can be something as simple as working with one of the social service agencies that are in their community. It could be something far more complicated as far as perhaps hosting a day-long seminar with various speakers on how to cope with the abuse that may be found in their communities. But even though we focus on April, I always like to say that there's still 11 other months. And if kids are getting abused, they don't get a rest. So we're constantly trying to work within our communities, whether it's raising funds that can then go to support some of the social service agencies here in Lake County or nationally, whether it's running what we call a CAP Center, Child Abuse Prevention Center. There's 2 here in Illinois. These are formal brick and mortar facilities with a host of services that are available, or whether it's raising funds to support one of these local agencies or just volunteering our time. That's kind of the beauty of Exchange, and in my travels within the Lincoln Land in the state of Illinois, every community, to Lou's point, does things that fits the personality of their community. And that's what I really like about Exchange. Yes, we are all part of a national organization, but we are totally customized to our unique little community and the niche that we can serve, which is that abuse prevention and some of the other activities that we get involved with.
Do you find that the incidents and child abuse are getting better now with the technology that we have and the increase in the activities that you and other organizations are striving to?
Gee, I wish we could say yes, but unfortunately the statistics say it's getting worse, and I think it's because more people are willing to talk about it. In the past, we kind of brushed it aside, or sometimes families were not willing to step forward and say, we need help. Whereas now, there's more of a consciousness of it. There's more of a knowledge of what's available within their communities. And so maybe it's being reported better. But at the same time, it's still out there. And we'll take a step forward, but maybe we take a half a step backwards. But just today, we have a program where it's the Save Abandoned Babies program, where a mother can surrender a child that perhaps is not wanted. And in the past, they would normally wind up in less than suitable condition. In many cases, the child would just be left to die on its own. Whereas now, almost every police department, fire department, and hospital will accept a child, no questions, no comments, no judgment, just bring it to us within the first 30 days. And there's been well over several thousand babies that have been saved. And who knows what those kids are going to grow up to be.
Well, let's move right along with Mrs. Pamela Brooks. Pamela, you're the District 12 Director, and as stated, it's in North Chicago, Waukegan, and also Zion. But before you tell us about your duties as a District 12 Director, tell us a little bit about Pamela Brooks.
Thank you. My name is Pamela Brooks, and I am married. I live in North Chicago, Illinois. I also have a co-owner of a printing business, printing and novelty business called pamdale.com. And I have a associate's degree in accounting, bachelor's degree in business administration. I work part-time for Daisy Resource and Developmental Center. I am a part of the NAACP. So I'm also a member of the NAACP, and that's about it.
Well, you've been quite active. But tell us, how did you get involved with the Exchange Club?
Well, one day I came and I was visiting one of my friends at the bank. And she told me, I was telling her that I was looking for something to do. And she invited me to come to one of the meetings in 2011. And I came to the meeting, and I was amazed at the drive and the excitement that the members had to help out the community of North Chicago. And that got me really interested and motivated. And that was in 2011. In 2012, I became a member of the Exchange Club.
Okay.
And I've been a member of the Exchange Club ever since. From 2013, I was the president-elect. 2014, the president. 2015, the past president. Also in 2015, August of 2015, I became the District 12 Director of Waukegan, North Chicago, and Zion.
That's quite an accomplishment, though. But that shows you the harder you work, the more work you're engulfed in, you know.
You don't have to worry about getting all timers, right?
But tell us about your duties as a District 12 Director.
District 12 Director, basically I am the liaison between the district and the North Chicago, Waukegan, and Zion Exchange Club.
Okay.
Then I'm also there to help those clubs with whatever they're needing help in. By me still being the past president of North Chicago Exchange Club, I'm also over there a lot helping out with the events that they have there. In 2015, I formed a scholarship fair. I noticed that a lot of the youth or the seniors wasn't filling out scholarships for organizations that were giving them out. So what I decided to do is form a fair where all of these students are aware of the different organizations that are giving out scholarships that they normally wouldn't fill out for. So I did that for Waukegan High School, North Chicago High School, and Zion High School. And I did that for 2 years. So that's something that I'm doing to help out each one of the clubs as well.
I may say this, though. The Brooks Foundation Scholarship was very benefited from your efforts in having a fair because the Brooks Foundation Scholarship was not getting applications, from the schools, and all of a sudden we had more applications. we were surprised because we can maybe get one or two, and here we get a dozen now from each school. So congratulations on your efforts as the scholarship, promoter, the fair that you gave. Now, being a district director requires a lot of traveling. You attend their meetings periodically, or?
I just became district director in August, so far I have been to their convention. And I won at the convention. I won a beautiful purse.
Okay.
Kate Spade on top of that, the purse and the wallet. So that was my first time attending that, and it was a beautiful convention. They had a lot of people that was there. And yes, I had a chance to travel there. I also been to Bloomington, to the meetings that we have had in Bloomington. I do travel locally because our clubs that we have in North Chicago, Waukegan, and Zion, that's local, so I don't have a long way to go just yet. Our next convention is going to be in Texas. So, yeah, that's the national convention. That's in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it should be kind of warm down there then compared to here, then I guess.
Yes,
it's usually held in the summer.
Yes.
The summer is there.
It'll be in Houston this year. So.
Yeah, Houston, Texas.
Fantastic. Well, we're gonna get back to you because there's other events I'm sure District 12 is involved in. But we're gonna move right around the horn now, and we're looking at Angel Jackson, Exchange Club of Zion president. Angel, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then about being the president, your duties as president.
Sure. I am the director of community schools at Zion Elementary School District 6. And so a lot of my work that I do with Exchange Club very easily interplays with what I do in my regular role at work every day. Our club in Zion is really focused on helping the youth succeed and realize their potential. And so we do that through our national service projects where we do the Student of the Month and the Student of the Year. We also held a few fundraisers for scholarships. When I first started with the Exchange Club, we had a huge forum for one of our high schools where we had all of the students participate in a child abuse prevention forum. And so I think that the services that we provide in Zion are primarily focused for the youth, and I think that they get a lot of value from the Zion Exchange Club.
Yes, Zion Exchange Club, the parent organization, is the North Chicago Club. But what piqued your interest in Exchange Club over Kiwanis, Zion, or Rotary?
So I'm involved in a lot of community organizations in Zion. I'm a member of the Coalition for Healthy Communities, and I do a lot of networking through my work. And one of the people that I worked with, a former president of the Zion Exchange Club, she actually founded it 3 years ago when it relaunched, Beverly Mull.
Yes.
She invited me to a meeting, and I loved it. I loved all the people that were there. I loved the values and morals that were shared and expressed through the club, and I just had to be a part of it. It was very in line with everything that I'm about personally, everything that I believe in, and so that's why I
Are
became
you
a
on
member.
the recruiting team for Zion?
Sure, we all are. It's our primary focus at this time because we're so new. Not many people know about us, and so a lot of the things that we do are to get people excited about Exchange and to introduce the club and reintroduce it into the community.
You know, Pam, Angel sounds excited, and it seemed like they picked a great person for be president. Right?
Yes, Angel is a good person to be president. I am so proud of her, and I'm proud about her passion and then how she really strives to do things in the community to make the community better. Because normally with the Exchange Club, we work in our different communities to help that community, to better that community. You know, you hear about a lot of bad things that go on, but Exchange is the one that bring all the good stuff to the community. So I really appreciate Angel and what she has done.
Well, Tanya Hudson, you've been waiting anxiously to have your opportunity to tell our listening audience. And I like to say this, so first of all, our listening audience with Comcast is approximately 100,000 subscribers in the county. And of course, the Comcast Community Forum airs also Lou, right? Lou in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Channel 14, 1 o'clock on Thursday afternoon, and 8 a.m. on Saturdays. So those that are listening have friends in Kenosha, they may watch it. Also, CAN TV in Chicago. Since I don't live in Chicago, it only airs 8 times a month at different times. And so we get the schedule to Chicago, so those that live in Chicago and the relatives, you can listen. Also, Lake Forest, Highland Park, and also, so it's got quite a coverage. So we got a great listening audience, potential listening audience. Will be hearing about the Exchange Club. So we're very happy that you take your time. Now, with that, tell our listening audience about Tanya Hudson, a little bit about yourself and your duties and responsibilities as president of the North Chicago Club.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm a property manager for a local non-for-profit organization right here in Lake County, Illinois, which keeps me quite busy. But I was currently involved with another organization that was, involved with community service right in the North Chicago area. And I decided was asked to attend a meeting And it was actually an installation dinner, which I didn't know.
That's what it takes, right? Attend the meeting,
But
especially installation.
yes, so she's like, well, come go with me and just come for the dinner and sit down and, you don't have to talk to anybody and just have a good time. So I did go with her, and that day I joined the Exchange Club, and that was in 2012. So it was just the overall experience itself. It was the people, it was a warm feeling that, you knew that they were there to try to help the community. And it kind of goes in line with what we do on a day-to-day basis. Our job is to service the community with my, profession that I'm in. And so I just thought it was the best thing to do at the time. I am a graduate of North Chicago High School, and so it was,
Hogs.
yes, it was an opportunity to go give back to the community. And so I joined the Exchange Club of North Chicago as a member, and then immediately was placed in a position as a fundraiser chair. So it was my responsibility to raise money for the club, to promote the club through fundraising events. We did a masquerade ball. We did different things to bring not only just recognition for the club, but also income, for the organization as well. And then from there, I continued in that role for a couple of years until recently. Last year, I was asked to become president, and it was something that was a big challenge for me because I was like, no, I don't want to do it. And there's like push, push, push. And then finally, I was like, you know what? It's something that I needed to do to help the community, to reach out. As North Chicago, we do focus a lot on education. We deal with the early learning childhood. We partner with United Way with that. We do scholarship fundraiser. Every year we do a L.C. Williams Memorial Scholarship fundraiser where we give a student from the high school a $500 scholarship award.
Fantastic.
And so those are just some of the things, and that's how I became an exchangeite.
So this is the way it happens. You get a new member in, and you want to get that new member active right away.
Yes.
Right? And this is the way,
Yes.
way organizations are. And once you get them active right away, and then they have a tendency to stay with the club and also attract others
Yes.
to the club. So
Yes.
you've been a very busy person ever since you joined.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned fundraising, but what do you use your funds for?
Well, a lot of the times we use, of course, our biggest reason for fundraising is for our scholarships.
Okay.
I think that's one of the things we focus on the most. We also participate in funding a student who's interested in the Youth Police Academy. Every year they send about 6 to 10 students to a kind of an academy, boot camp is what we call it, and then North Chicago Exchange Club, we sponsor one of those students. We're also the founders of Lake County Honor Flight, which we'll talk about a little bit more, but we also offer funds or raise monies to sponsor a veteran to visit the memorials in Washington, D.C. And so that's pretty much majority of our reason is to give back to the community, the reason we fundraise.
Well, we're going to get back to you in a little bit.
All right.
But right now, Lou, she mentioned about, Tanya, sorry about that, mentioned about what do you call it, North Chicago Honor Flight?
Lake County Honor Flight now.
The Lake County Honor
yes.
Flight, Tell us about, let's see, which one want to do it?
I'll address that.
Which one
The
do you
Lake
think?
County.
Probably would be Pam.
Okay, I'll get the right one here. I got the programs, but you got the answers there. Pam,
the Lake County Honor Flight was formed originally under the Exchange Club of North Chicago in 2013. They needed a organization to sponsor them that had a 501c3. And then we also needed an Americanism program. Well, Well, we had
It's a
Americanism
big
program,
program.
but this was a big program for us to have, which was the Honor Flight. So then we sponsored them in 2013, and we were able to do, as Tanja said, she does fundraisers, and she had a great bit. We had one at the Holiday Inn, which was a success. That one was like a masquerade ball for that one as well, to raise money to help send veterans to Washington to view their names on the memorial wall. And in 2015, just recently, they became their own hub, so they were able to get their own 501c3 and all of the other the documents that they needed to be their own hub. Right now, Paula Caballero, who is the director of the Honor Flight, Tanja is the fundraising chair, and I'm the trip coordinator, and we all are on the board of directors for the Lake County Honor Flight. We have a trip that's coming up, April 30th. They're going to leave on April 30th and come back on May 1st. And I believe they have 23 veterans going, and then have the coordinators that are going with them. But then we also pay everything for them. We raise money so that they don't have to pay for their airfares, pay for their food. We pay for their room and board. We do all of that through the Lake County Honor Flight. So they gave to us by going out and fighting, and then we give back to them.
What's the eligibility? Because I may get my application. But all those perks,
Well, we start off with the World War II.
Okay.
And then we look for World War II veterans, and then whoever have fought the war that are able to go, we take them. And then we go down from World War II to, what is it, Korean?
Korea.
Yeah, from Korean, and then from there we'll go to Vietnam.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah. We have a website called LakeCountyHonorFlight.com. And we have veterans applications that are on there, and you can fill out an application on there. Submit it in to us, and then the board of directors will review it, and then they will give you a call and let you know further information about that. And we have 3 trips coming up this year, so we're going to be really, really busy.
You started out with 1 trip, now you're up to 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
What's nice about the Honor Flight is all of the Lake County clubs help contribute.
Yeah.
Because I know several clubs that will sponsor 1 or maybe more vets. Well, I think almost every club in Lake County has done it, and that's kind of the beauty of the clubs working together. It falls under our Americanism program of service, but having been to a couple of welcome backs, and not only is the vet just so totally overwhelmed with the program, because they never thought that they would have the opportunity, for one thing, and then to get the opportunity. But more importantly, it's their companion that goes with them that comes back so energized and just so they have an instant bond and a new friend that they've made with this vet. And just to see the glow on their face when they start to tell their stories is really, I mean, you almost want to start crying because it is so moving. And it's a wonderful thing to be involved with.
Well, tell us about these clubs. They're doing fantastic things here. How are they evaluated nationally?
Well, National always likes to, they love paperwork. No. What they really ask of the clubs is to have programs of service in each of our areas. So do community service kinds of things. Do Americanism. And I look at Americanism a little bit differently. I know many people focus on sort of the patriotism and flying the flag and that. I usually try to tell some people that it's also boils down to just being a good citizen. That's really where it starts. And sometimes that just means being a good neighbor. We've got people that will mow lawns for some of the elderly in their community. To me, that's part of Americanism. That's what makes us different. But the National Exchange Club likes to know what each club is doing. That's why there's people like Pam, because she's out there, she's our arms and legs talking to the individual clubs. She then shares what each of her clubs are doing with the other 11 district directors in Lincoln Land. And then they all share their information with the board. And really, all we're about is a club is interested in a fundraiser. Well, everybody does a golf outing, or everybody does a bowl of something. What can we do that's different? So you'll learn about what a lot of the other clubs are doing. I mean, we have a club out west along the Mississippi. They have a frog jumping contest. Now, you wouldn't think that would generate a lot of interest, but there's like hundreds of people that descend on this tiny little town with their frog in the hopes of winning. And why do they do it? It's just something that the town thought would be a neat thing to do. Exchange said, we're going to run it. You know, we have other clubs that do 3-on-3 basketball tournaments or the traditional bingos and things like that. But that's what's kind of neat, and that's what National likes to see is you're taking your club and you are customizing it to meet the needs of your community. You've heard what these 3 clubs here have done as far as focusing on either the youth or focusing on community service projects within their community. That's what Exchange likes to see. And as a former president,
And to piggyback on what Bill was talking about, the clubs actually don't have to do any of the programs at all that we have in Exchange. However, as Bill mentioned, all the clubs like to take the programs and tailor it to the needs of the community. The national organization has an award called the National Service Award that any club can earn by doing a project in each of the 4 pillars, as I mentioned before, Americanism, child abuse prevention, youth, and community service, plus 2 extra projects. And if they do these 6 projects, then they get a nice banner patch that they can put on their banner and brag to the community that we did all these different things. Plus they're listed in the national magazine and mentioned at convention and everything else. So that is one way that the national organization evaluates how a club is doing. When I was national president, you know, I had a goal of having at least 50% of my clubs across the country earn that National Service Award. And I believe we did achieve that. I think in Lincoln Land we even had a higher percentage than 50%. It's just kind of a standard that all the clubs can use to measure themselves against what's happening with clubs throughout the country. But it doesn't have to be the same programs. The club that Bill mentioned that had the frog jumping contest also had a program, and they raised some money that all the street signs, all the street signs that say like Hollywood and Vine, you know, those street signs, the corners, they all have the Exchange Club emblem on each of those street signs. So that's instant publicity of anybody driving through the town. It's a great service project that they did. And you know, Waukegan has a bowl-a-thon, which they just had, raising money for child abuse prevention. And also, I think they've had a pancake day now for 50-some years.
Oh, yeah.
Over at Bonnybrook Golf Course. And I know I flipped pancakes for the Waukegan Club for many, many years. So, but, and I know that North Chicago said they had a few fundraisers at the Holiday Inn. You had one, and Zion has a few too, I'm sure. So, so we all have our little things that we like to do. It's different, but we're all doing the same thing, and that's making our communities a better place to live.
And what you do, though, you publish a national magazine, and boy, this is one way to get the information out to all the clubs and let the nationally what each club are doing.
Right.
Okay?
Right. There's many articles. Actually, many clubs throughout the country are highlighted in the national magazine. I know probably every club around this table has been in there in one form or another. Our national president right now is from the Charleston, South Carolina club, Dan McQueenie, a great American, a great Exchangeite, you know, just working towards making Exchange a stronger club. Next year we have another Exchangeite from South Carolina, our third woman president, Elizabeth Grantham, coming in, and we're excited about her term coming in. So, so we have just so many great things coming, and the best thing, you know, you mentioned your coverage into all these communities in Lake County. Well, we sure would love to have an Exchange Club in all these communities in Lake County. So, so one of these days we're going to be there, I think, right? Knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, join Exchange."
But I mean, there are clubs in Lincoln Land in our district that stretch from Zion on the north to Quincy down in the far south, with community as small as 3,000 people to communities that have over 100,000 people. So. Exchange is the kind of club that can fit into any community. All you need to do is to find that particular need that your community has, and Exchange will be there to step in.
And right over the Cheddar Curtain too, in Kenosha. That's where my club is.
Right. Tell us, we may ask Angel, I know the North Chicago Club has the mayor and also the police chief.
It's Tanja.
It's Tanja.
Tanja, right?
Yes.
Tanja. Yeah, I was gonna ask in Zion, do they have the same thing?
Right.
The mayor and so that must be a great place a lot of emphasis on the program too by having those two as a member of the club, right?
It does. It actually, we do. It's like I said. It feels like one big happy family. We're very close knit with the police department, with the mayor, the fire department. We all get together and collaborate and do things together as a community. We support community days, which we do every year, and then the police department, they support everything that we do. They help us with our motorcycle escorts for our veterans. They also assist us for our community service projects that we have. We have something called National Night Out, and they're also a part of that. We actually support them as well when they have, and then we have something that's called Blue Mondays, I believe. So that also is something that where we, show our support as an exchange club to our local police department.
Well, Faith is a good example. I mean, she's involved at the school level, and it's very important because a lot of our activities revolve around students and more than just scholarships.
Right.
So if your school superintendent belongs or a principal belongs, it's an immediate connection with the Exchange Club. And when you're talking to someone about joining the club, and a lot of times we get involved in the energy, but some people, they kind of want to know who else belongs. So if you say, well, the police chief belongs, the fire chief belongs, we've got 2 trustees that belong, we've got the superintendents of the schools that belong, the public works director, they're like, holy cow, this is a club that I want to be involved with because it's about networking as well.
You mentioned about strengthening families, Lou. Tell us about how families are strengthened by the club activities.
We strongly feel that exchange is a family affair. In fact, when I was national president, I had the good fortune of having our membership investment structure revised so that there's actually a family membership program right now. So, and I think that was something that really helped the club out quite a bit. But we encourage moms and dads to join. We encourage the kids to get involved in the service projects. We encourage the kids to work for the scholarships because most clubs have scholarships. Again, for the real bright students, the honor roll students, and for the students that struggle but do well and graduate, they can get scholarships too. We try to have social events with our members and their families. Picnics and ball games and socials, bowling socials and so forth. So many things that we do, but the most important thing that we do to strengthen families is our work in child abuse prevention. Because the whole focus of our child abuse prevention activities is based on a parent aid model where we actually train a volunteer to go in and teach a parent how to be a parent and get mom and dad involved and get the kids involved so that we can nip child abuse at the bud and help mom and dad be a better parent and help handle it when the kids get a little bit unruly or the kids start crying or when mom and dad just had a bad day and they feel a lot of pressure. That's what our parent aides go in there at our centers and help them out. And that's how we strengthen families across the country.
We have
but also to piggyback on what Lou is saying, and Child Abuse Month, which is April, and also that Tanja said, every Monday we're asking our members and then our members to reach out to people that we know, whether it's in the school or politics or wherever, that every Monday they wear blue, like blue shirts, to show that we're there and that we support child abuse prevention. Then our foundation also is having what they call a Night to Darkness workshop, and that's on April 23rd. And what they're doing is they're training people to be presenters, because we need more people to go out and that can talk about child abuse and make the awareness. And it's like a 4-hour class that you go to. The Exchange is paying a portion of it. And you go to this class and they train you how to be presenters and how to go out and talk to people and how to kind of be like a counselor to some of them so they can come back and tell us if they're going through something, if the children are going through something. So that's another thing that Exchange is doing too. And we need more presenters to be out there to go around and talk to every different area about child abuse and where to go when they need any type of help.
Okay, yeah, I was getting Angel involved by asking her the attempts that you've done to get more elected officials. Is that a objective too, is getting elected officials to be, I think you mentioned that though too, that would strengthen your club.
Well, this is only our third year, and so our club is slow to grow. You know, it starts to build momentum as we do more things in the community, and so in order to invite our mayor and police chiefs, we're having a ribbon cutting ceremony on June 18th, where we're going to have the road sign for the National Exchange Club posted
Oh, great.
at the Welcome to Zion entrance on Sheridan and Wadsworth Road. And at that time, we'll like publicly be official in the community again. And I think that would be a great opportunity for us to recruit more members to our club.
When is that happening?
It's June 18th.
Be sure you get invited to that. The mayor now is Al Hill, is that
Yeah,
right?
the mayor is Al
Like
Hill.
to see Al again. Yeah, I know.
We've also partnered with the city on lots of events as well. The Community of Character Walk and many other events that we've all worked together. It's really a tight-knit community in Zion.
Well, we have over 300 million people in the country, right?
Yes, sir.
Over.
That's what the data shows.
Over 300 million.
Over 300?
But a lot of potential exchange acts.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking about there, and by having all these different activities and events, there's great potential. Right. Well, what is the ultimate goal of Exchange Club? I know personally we have ultimate goals for ourselves, and so forth, but is it child abuse? Is that
Well, I'll just chime in right off the start, and please don't let me keep talking, because I will. As a past national president.
Yes, I know,
keep
right?
talking, But I think ultimately, there's three things. First of all is to remove the scourge of child abuse from our communities. Secondly is to make our communities a better place for our kids.
Okay.
So that when we leave, our kids can come to a community that was better than we have it right now. And the third thing is to have fun. I mean, exchange clubs and exchange guides throughout the country do all sorts of wonderful things, all under the umbrella of having fun. Because we are a family, as was mentioned, we are a brotherhood and a sisterhood. We have a lot of things in common, and if we're not having fun, why do it? It's one of my themes. So I think that it's important that you smile, you have fun, you have a meal together and some fellowship, and you laugh together, you cry together, you support challenges within your club members, you celebrate successes within your club members, and ultimately you bond and grow stronger in your community. And that's what it's all about.
This is fantastic. I noticed, Tanya, on your election processes, you always you get the mayor to become a member of the board of directors. So that's important too, right? He's not just a member of the club, but you got him active.
Yep.
Yes, he's
Right.
very active with our club. He's the key, to our city. So we drew him in and we keep him in there. So, and not only that, he's just a really good, a great supporter of everything we need. He provides that for our community, and there's just a lot to say about someone that's the mayor and actually involved. He's a
I
very
think if you
involved
see them at an event
Yes.
and their sleeves are rolled up and they're
Definitely.
actively involved, it's like they really care about
Absolutely.
everybody in their town.
And not just a card
And then
carrying
also
member.
the mayor was one of the original founders of
a
the
charter
North
member.
Chicago Exchange Club. So he's a charter member, and he's passionate about the Exchange Club and then helping us whatever we need to have done. We can call on him and ask him, and he's always there to help out. So, yeah.
I see we emphasize, and it's, I might give my staff credit for this, Americanism. They ensure, they say this is a Americanism program, so he made sure that he let the listening, viewing audience see that you are you spreading Americanism too, as well as that. Well, I see you have a lot of literature. It's more than just a child abuse. I guess, does it all pertain to child abuse?
No, we have literature on child abuse prevention. We have literature on how to join Exchange as well. And this is for all of the Exchange Club, basically. And normally, what most of the Exchange Clubs does is whenever we have a fundraiser or any type of events, or if we're always trying to get somebody to join, we'll have something in our hand where we can give them little cards or something to invite them to a meeting. We'll go to a meeting, or I'll go to a meeting. Like I was at a meeting yesterday. I went to a meeting and then I invited somebody to come to our meeting. So this is what we do. Yeah. We exchange like that. We also have the ACE Award over here, which is Accepting the Challenge, which Lou talked about that. And Exchange Strong, which is the new campaign that we have out in 2015-2016 years. So, yes, we have all of that. And then the flag is for the Americanism, which is for a lot of our veterans programs that we have. And we also have a program that was recently launched that's called Veterans Matter. And I know a little bit about that, but I know that they're doing a lot of fundraising where they're helping the homeless veterans. And they're finding them homes, and they're putting them in houses, brand new houses for them to live. Yeah, so that is another program that we have that they just launched last year. I don't know if you want to.
Exchange has partnered with the Veterans Matter group, and the mission is there should never be a homeless vet. So whatever we can do to get that vet off the street and into their own home, whether it's giving them a security deposit for an apartment, whether it's helping them with a down payment, whatever it might be, to make sure that that vet has a roof over their heads. It was a program that was just launched not even a year ago. And it's met with really good success nationwide within Exchange. And it's like any program, it needs a little time to gain momentum. So next year we anticipate it's going to be stronger than it was this year.
What about the your fiscal year and election of officers? Tell us about that.
People don't want to know about that stuff.
No, very quickly.
We run a July 1 fiscal. And what happens with each club elects a president. They also elect a president-elect, and then they have normal secretary, treasurer, and then a board of directors. And what's nice about, we've all been presidents of clubs here, what's nice is you're never alone. Because you always have the person that preceded you as the immediate past president. They're kind of like your mentor in a lot of ways. And you, in turn, are helping the person behind you that's going to succeed you in terms of learning what it means. And I know when I was president, what I liked was I was blessed with a great board with people that were willing to just step up and help. I had a lot of support people, Lou and many others within Exchange. And that's the nice thing about the district. That's the nice thing about district directors, is there's somebody to lean on, and if they don't know, there's somebody that they can turn to find out what you need.
We have lots of training in Exchange. Not only does National provide training, but there's an online training for club presidents and club secretaries, and also the division directors. Pam is kind of in charge of making sure that all the officers in his or her division go through the proper training so they can hit the ground running and have a successful year with their club.
The worst thing to hear is, yeah, I got elected as president, but I don't know what the heck to do.
Well, I was going to ask you may end this discussion by the structure of the Exchange clubs. I know you have bylaws of the Exchange these are bylaws of the National Exchange Club, but the local Exchange Club follows it, right?
Well, we actually have 3 sets of bylaws. There's national, there's a district, and there's the local bylaws. On the overall, the grand scheme, I believe that we have our headquarters in Toledo, Ohio, and we have a national board of directors. and I believe there's 8 regions now, 11 regions now.
11, yeah.
And each region is comprised of a number of districts. Lincoln Land, which is the state of Illinois, happens to be in Region 3, which also includes Minnesota, Wisconsin Upper Peninsula, and the Dakota Territory, both North and South Dakota.
Well, we're going to talk about more on part 2
Okay.
of the program.
Oh, geez, am I talking too much?
Later on in the year. My, how time flies.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about the Exchange Club, the National Exchange Club, on Community Forum here. And like I mentioned before, one of the primary emphases of the Exchange Clubs nationwide is strengthen families by preventing child abuse, America, and exchange partnerships. And we've been talking with our district president-elect, Bill Frosey, and Lou Molitor, am I right, VFR, and I guess the VFR anyway. VFR again.
His volunteer field representative.
Okay. He's a past national president. Pamela Brooks, District 12 Director, North Chicago, Waukegan, and Zion, and North Chicago past president. To my immediate left, Tanya Hudson, Exchange Club of North Chicago president, and anchor person Angel Jackson, Exchange Club of Zion president. And we are happy that you've taken time to view this program and hope that you will get involved or ask questions. A phone number they can be reached at, probably Pam, you want to give one?
Yes. Well, it'd be better to contact us either on Facebook. It's the North Chicago Exchange Club.
Or
We
Zion.
also, we have the Zion Exchange Club and the Waukegan Exchange Club.
Okay.
And then they can find us on Facebook, and they have all the information about our phone numbers and our email addresses and presidents-elect, and everything is right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Community Forum. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks Sr., your host.